Welcome, everybody, to the Evolution 2026 Growth Summit. We are winding down as we started something that kind of started as an idea, and 32 amazing, wonderful, everyday superhumans joined this Everyday Growth Summit in January, and it's been super, super amazing. We keep clipping along here with the final week of that with an amazing guest, a friend of mine, a school brother, as I like to call him, and Mark Eldridge. Welcome to the Evolution Podcast.
Awesome. Thank you. Appreciate that, Brandon. And Dinka, so great to be here and be able to spend some time with you.
Awesome, Mark. And yeah, like I said, I've gotten to know you a little bit. I think one of my favorite features of Skool has is like just the random hangouts. You don't have to have a scheduled group. You just kind of like jump on, and you and I met that way in Evergreen Foundations. And then from there, that relationship cultivated through more groups and different things. So I love that aspect of Skool and how we met. But for those of listeners and watching live who don't know you, who is Mark Eldridge?
Still trying to figure that out myself, right? um, I have a kind of different background, interesting start from um, first being a rebel, if you will, where I didn't do well with the uh, the schooling in growing up, and decided, well, I didn't like being told what to do, so I think I knew everything, knew what to do. I decided, well, maybe I'll just join the army, and found out real quickly that you still got to listen to what you need to do. And so that was a great 3 year experience, though, because it set me on a better path. Because so many people out there, and even in school today, I see that so many people out there are still searching, still figuring out their journey, if you will. Fortunately, I learned a lot in those short 3 years in the military. Was jumping out of perfect good airplanes when I did not always wanna jump as a paratrooper, but, um, my 3 years was really, a lot of self-discovery as well. I found the book Think and Grow Rich, and, I was one of those ones that grew up on the wrong side of the tracks where we didn't have a whole lot of money, but I um, knew people that did have a lot of money. In fact, one of our close family friends was the heir to the 7 Up fortune. And so I saw, how can we have no money and other people have all kinds of money, and how's that change? And by reading Think and Grow Rich and starting to apply that, and at the same time, is when actually, this goes back a few years, of course. The first one of the first personal computers came out, the Tandy TRS-80, and I thought, there's something about these computers that it's going to be something here over the future. I started looking at, how can I build businesses? How can I get involved with, after I was honorably discharged from the military? How do I go out there and become that entrepreneur? First, started just helping my dad out. He was a professor at Cal State, and he was first selling these little rebounders, little small trampolines. And when he was a kid, he liked magic. He was into doing magic shows and stuff like that. So he came up with something called the magic of rebound exercise, and built $1 million business literally with just selling rebounders at service clubs like Kiwanis clubs, Rotary clubs, doing a 1 hour presentation on the health and the abilities to improve your health just by rebounding a half hour a day or whatever. But that turned into, then at that point I was maybe 16 or 17. We saw that we liked doing the magic shows. Was we started buying a whole lot of stuff at magic stores, and sometimes we make a mistake thinking we can do things better, and so we decided to start our own magic store. And at 17 years old, we were running a magic store in Fresno, California, that then turned into, of course, Halloween. In fact, even though that was over 30 years ago, well, 40 years ago, uh, Halloween masks were a big thing. That before I knew people were buying not just a $20 mask, but 100 and $200 masks. And that was before spirit Halloween stores became a thing across the country, across the United States, where again, we got into that industry just a little bit too soon. We did that for a little while, and I decided I wanted to really make an impact. And how could I go out there and help other people make an impact? And we started doing seminars, helping people get high scores on exams. Um, long story short, showing people that first it was postal exams where you had to get a high score to get hired by the post office. You had to have a score of 95 or higher to get hired by the post office. And most people, unfortunately, failed the exam because didn't prepare. They didn't know how to prepare. And so we figured out how to ace the postal exam and ended up doing 40 to 50 seminars a week across the country, showing people how to get high scores on the postal exam. And even my twin sister ended up being a postmaster over the years. And then after that, going from postal exam, we went to law enforcement exam prep seminars to consulting seminars, showing people how to get into the consulting business, and that helped us get in the path of helping people become entrepreneurs. And teamed up with a gentleman named Dan Kennedy, who was just getting going in his journey, if you will, being a major successful entrepreneur. And we worked together. We, in fact, he had a joint consulting manual we did together with him, and promoted that seminar again all across the country. And between all the different seminars, saw probably about 2 million people over those course of 4 or 5, 6 years, whatever it was. And the thing about the seminar, what I learned about the seminar business, there's a saying that life is a moving parade, that about every 90 days, people's life situations change, whether they have something happen in their family, that they need more time with their family, whether they needed more money, or something that maybe they got downsized, maybe they just got angry at their boss. Who knows? But there's always something that's changing in people's lives every 90 days. And so when we went to one market and did a seminar, we knew we probably shouldn't go back for that same market for about 90 days because it would be almost like a whole different audience than when you went back to that market 90 days later who want to attend your seminars. And that's something I carry with me my whole life because I realized just because someone gets to major success doesn't mean that 90 days from now or a year from now or 3 years from now, they're still at the same plateau. And so how can we always grow? How can we always improve? And I got involved with a gentleman named Jeff Olson, who wrote the Slight Edge, was a book about just improving yourself just 1% a day. And it was a network called the People's Network, where it brought the best authors, coaches, consultants, the best business minds directly in people's homes by way of satellite. A great concept. We marketed more satellites than the company at the time, PrimeStar, that was providing the satellites could actually provide. And so we were outgrowing even what PrimeStar could provide for satellites. And the thing about that business, it was all about how could we help bring more information, personal development information in people's homes so they could actually have better access to it. Because we've all had access to libraries our whole lives, but most people think it's inconvenient. They don't. Unfortunately, the statistic is still about less than 5% of the population have a library card. And so, when you can make it easier for people to access information and make it easier where people can then go and apply and not only learn that information, but more important, go and take action on that information. And that's what we were doing with that company. And unfortunately, because it was again a great concept before its time, the internet didn't exist at the time. Um, we moved on to something else, and that's when we wrote our book, The Obvious Experts, a book we came out with actually about 20 years ago now.
Oh,
Uh,
wow.
Dan Kennedy used this book in his inner circle, and a lot of other top marketing people use it in their inner circle. And it really is just about back in those days how to really position yourself because everyone has some type of expertise.
Yeah.
And so, how do you position yourself so that you really can come across to know that you can make an impact for whoever's looking to have you help them out? And what we showed people was not only how to go out there and do that, but also publish their own books, if you will, because that's one of the fastest ways to go and show that your expertise is showing how they can do whatever you're trying to show them as your expertise in that niche.
Or
And so,
accidentally start a podcast.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
exactly, exactly. Well, that actually, of course, was before podcast came
Yeah,
out.
yeah.
So we've been able to have some impact by just being able to find out what's changing the marketplace and get ahead of it, and make sure that we can be ahead of those times. And that's one of the things I'm so passionate about the Skool platform.
Yeah.
The things I've done before in the past, from the seminars to personal development, bringing in directly into people's homes, that combine those together, what now Skool can do, where with the internet and even better, being able to connect like-minded people faster than you ever could before. I mean, my first couple weeks in the Skool platform, I was already connecting and having conversations with people, not just in the United States, but literally all around the world.
Yeah.
Where else could you do that? I mean, obviously, the other platforms, other social media sites are okay as far as being able to reach people around the world, but you're not really connecting with people around the world on those other platforms. Here you can on Skool. And I really came a full circle when I built the seminar business. We were doing about $10 million a year. We did very, very well with that. We had 5 office buildings, uh, seminar speakers traveling all over the country. So it's definitely a major operation that, as times change, people wanted to go from, as the internet started evolving, going from attending live seminars to now getting their information online.
Yeah.
And so we saw that evolution happening as well. And I got involved with a business I started helping people as I saw the online revolution, going back to my talking about how computers would change people's lives. And I got involved, fortunately, as Google was just beginning. Most of us don't remember there was something called Yahoo. My partner Pam, she still actually has a Yahoo email account, but
I know.
Yahoo, when that was be going and changing to literally Google taking over the Yahoo business, if you will, as far as the search engine business. We figured out that if we could, we saw down in Florida, there was a major challenge where people were buying these timeshares and getting stuck with them, and they couldn't get out of them. And we saw some people going and saying, well, what if we help you sell your timeshare? And they would sell them this ad for, on their website for $200 or $500, but then never actually help them sell their timeshare. We said, well, what if we could do that the right way? Be the white hats, if you will, instead of the black hats where they're just taking people's money and not really helping them out. What
Yes.
if we could actually help them sell their timeshares? And so we started to sell my timeshare now, which was a vacation hot deal company that we started, and it became an Inc. 5000 company, one of the fastest growing companies in America in just a few short years. Now, how did we make that happen? It was because we saw that there was something being done wrong in the marketplace. What if it could be done right? And at first, we were paying way too much on Google. We were paying $60 per click every time someone clicked on one of our links. And so we figured out with Google, how could we monetize and then also make sure we're getting the best SEO going? And yeah, it took about 2 or 3 years. True success doesn't always happen overnight. Sometimes you got to, build that ramp up. And it took us about 2 or 3 years, but
Mhm.
we ended up going organically on 1, 2, and 3 for over 160,000 keywords on Google.
Wow.
And still to this day, that company still ranks 1, 2, or 3 organically on Google.
So,
I've exited out of that company. We brought in venture capital and we had a great exit, but it's something that most people, they're looking for that overnight success. And it's just like building a house, right?
yep.
When you're building a house, you got to start with first having some plans. Then you got to lay that foundation. Then you got to start building the walls before you even think about what are you going to put on the interior.
Yeah.
And so that's what I've learned is that as much as I'm one of those people, I tend to be my whole life to be a workaholic. When I was 16, I think I already had 3 jobs, but I've never had a job ever since I got out of the military because I saw there's a better way, a better path. If I can go out there and figure out how to be successful on my own, and one of the best ways to do that is by creating masterminds. Every success I've had, was by going out there and finding other like-minded people
Yeah.
that I could help them have success and then help myself, of course, have success by the result of that. So it's real what, Henry Ford, he was brilliant in his own right, but he was most successful by surrounding himself with people that were more brilliant than him. And that's what masterminds are, helping
Yeah.
other people go out there and help them have success, and you're going to be able to achieve whatever you want to achieve. So that's my story in a short 5 minutes.
I love that. I really your entrepreneur spirit was always there, right? With the magic store at 17. Like my room probably looked like a magic store at 17, but like wasn't running one. And then everything that you said, like the whole time, I am intertwining into, and your story like leads up to a perfect stop of Skool, right? Like Skool is
Mm.
a perfect platform for the way you've experienced business with your seminars and the live experiences and the collaborations. There is an old guard of, like, Skool communities are this, like, lead pools to my high ticket offer, "Don't come, don't touch," and I think there's a lot of people that are turning that on its head. You're one of them. We got 2 giants in here right now, Ro and Jack, that are 2 of them that do things open it up, let people promote themselves, let people be them, let people, connect and collab and network, and there's this whole new, um intertwining of communities that we're seeing right now that is just awesome. This summit has been a huge one where we're putting 30 some plus community owners and we're having like this school-based strategy style slash who are these owners podcast episodes, and it's been awesome because we're really highlighting how one platform is taking all these awesome people and creating businesses, creating connections, creating a pool of skill sharing and networking. Is that kind of what drew you into the platform?
Absolutely. As I mentioned, being able to connect with like-minded people so quickly, so easily, you can't do that. And there's no other platform. I actually even started a social media association back in um, 2018, 2019, when Facebook was just starting to really take off. And I saw the challenge with social media sites, whether it was the Facebooks or and Instagram wasn't around back then, but in LinkedIn's, is most of them, it was all about just getting those eyeballs to stay on the screen and not really so much about the engagement, about creating the connections. We had like 3,000 members in the first 3 months with that association. And when I really saw that was really about just collecting those eyeballs to be able to then sell them advertisers dollars, we shut down the association. I didn't feel good about it. I didn't feel that it was long term sustainable for something I wanted to be involved with. And I knew that there had to be a better way. And, the last 10, 15 years, all I've used social media for was really just to share pictures with my family or what other friends are doing. And that's not connection. I mean, yeah, it keeps my family looking at pictures or knowing where I'm traveling around the world, but it's not really connecting like we can on Skool, where you can instantly join a community and you don't have to join a lot of communities. You just find 4 or 5 and whatever you feel you can handle in the time that you have to allot to your day, whether it's an hour a day, whether it's 2 or 3 hours that you're spending on building connections and learning and growing. Because we also need to be learning and growing, no matter what age you are. You always want to be knowing that if you're not going forwards, you're going backwards, right? And so the Skool platform allows literally that opportunity in any area of your life, whether it's your health, whether it's your business, whether it's your relationships. Being able to find those communities that you want to improve in that area of life, and then connect with those like-minded people that are the perceived experts, or they are truly experts in that area, that you can connect with them and learn from them, and then they lead you to other people within the Skool platform. It's amazing how quickly you can connect with so many people around the world in such a short period of time.
Yeah, it's amazing. If you'd have told me a year ago or 2 years ago that I would add a podcast partner from Belgium 7 hours ahead of me, like, I would have told you you're crazy. Or if I would have, like, learned about, like, a Bulgarian ninja from the Europe that, like, does all this cool, crazy stuff and produces music and stuff, I would have told you we're nuts. And now I have, like, the best of friends, like Mark Lawrence. Like I looked up what the Tiger's Nest is. He like stayed there. And this guy's a 65-year-old superhero. Like I've met all of these amazing, amazing people, yourself included. A lot of builders are on this call and I'll listen to our podcast probably, obviously. But let me tell you, tomorrow in Tornado Power Group, we're talking about the whole life is a moving parade and
Mm.
90-day swings thing. Write that in your book because it's in mine now.
It's such an amazing story, and I really loved a lot of things, obviously. But what really stayed with me, or what I picked up on, what you were saying, like no such thing as an overnight success. I think there's maybe the tipping point where you start to see you know, the dollars coming in, or there's some sort of recognition, or maybe that feels like it's overnight, but it could have been in the works for years or decades. And I really find that important to highlight that, especially on Skool, because I think there's a lot of people who are the vanity metrics and like, oh, I want to, I don't know, rank at a certain, place in discovery, or they want a star, or they want to win the school games, and nothing wrong with that. But you need to have something else to offer. It cannot be your only goal just to, well, I mean, I don't know, maybe it can, but I think it's easier if the driving force behind it is not just to get to the top, but you also provide a service and you help people, right?
Absolutely. That's what I actually loved so much about the Evergreen community was that um, between you and the other community members you bring together, it's really everyone working together to help each other become more successful. And
Yes.
and that's one of the things I want to help change on Skool to help everyone work more together. Because so many people are so used to just being solo entrepreneurs and having to do it all on their own. And when I first came on the Skool platform and I saw that you could connect with so many like-minded people so quickly, but I didn't see yet where everyone was actually working together and doing collaborations and helping each other really truly become successful together. Instead, it was a lot of where one person would say they're the guru, come learn from me, or I'm the guru, go learn from them. And then you find out they're really not even active in building a community. They were just about selling a course or selling a coaching program. And when you can really know that you can bring people together and really actually change their lives, not from just taking a coaching program or taking a course, but really going and helping build that community. It's proven time and time again, the longevity studies by being involved with communities is how all of us stay healthier and live longer, better lives. And you don't get that from just buying a course or just selling a course. You get by making those connections, building those lifetime relationships. That's what I love so much about what's going on with the Skool with the IRLs, where I became the mayor down here in Orlando to bring people from being online back to offline. I learned from one of my mentors, Jeff Olson, that is all about not just high tech, but high touch. You got to be able to really not only connect with those people online, but then get them to a live event where you build those lifetime relationships. I built lifetime relationships over the last 30, 40 years of people I just went and met at a live event and we connected and been, friends ever since. You can do that somewhat online, but nowhere near as powerful or as quickly as you can do it when you go to those live events. And so knowing that in my vision where I see Skool going over the next 12 to 24 months, Goosify did an incredible job over the last 12 months launching the whole IRLs where people are really getting out. But they're just starting to learn about how that works and why they even want to get out to a live event. As it now takes off and takes root and really starts to spread more and more. Like right now, the Goosify team's out in Antarctica. Antarctica, of all places, there's a school event going on that they did it on 7 continents this last year that now that's going to just create that ripple effect that all of a sudden 10 people in a community turns into 50 people in a community to 100 people in a community to literally thousands of people. That's how the Skool's goal is to reach a billion lives, to impact people in community with a billion lives by having a million communities impacting those lives and building a business at the same time, helping everyone achieve more. That's going to be so impactful. And I think you guys on the forefront of that, how you've already brought several communities together to help each other have more success.
That's such a kind thing to say, and I love that we are starting to be seen in that way. And I also feel like we are pack animals, right? You can't do it alone, and it's just no fun to do it alone. Maybe you can, but you don't. You shouldn't have to.
You should.
And that's something that we say a lot around here. Synarchy, all boats rising with the high tide, and we really hope to create some ripples around this on Skool.
And it's, honestly, I came from that training of like, your members come in like, how do I get them to buy my stuff? And you're like doing these content and you're posting content on other groups to get people to see your group. And it takes away your authenticity. It takes away who you are and why you started to do this in the first place, which was to help freaking people. So why don't you just help everybody you can in your free? And I started to do that in my thinking, but then there was like an evolution, pun intended, of like how we got to even here in this summit. And it started with minds like Goose. You mentioned Goosify. Like Goosify gave me the broccoli wrapped in bacon. I'm a nutrition and wellness coach and Better Brain Project. Let's have some freaking fun. I'm an ex martial artist, fighter at heart. I have belts. Like, let's have some fun and learn brain nutrition. Like broccoli wrapped in bacon, right? Then I met Jack and the schoolyard, the yard party method of like, hey, you're running a barbecue. You're running a barbecue and treat your members like get them some food, introduce them to people, get them a drink. Like that really just changed the game for me. And then this summit gave me all the beautiful guests, including amazing rock star builder Ro, who really like talked about dynamic pricing and showing up for people and like culture and vibe. And then those three people are like my holy trinity of like Goose gave me something that moved me a little forward. Jack gave me something that moved me a little forward. Ro gave me something that moved me a little forward. And what it did was it gave me that opening of school is about community at its core. Nobody cares about more of the what your program is, what your premium is. They want to know who's showing up to those calls every day, every week,
Mhm.
who's on the calls. Like if there's members from the community talking all the time on the calls, that's why they show up. They don't show up for some premium offer that you crafted for 12 months in a layer. They show up for who's on the calls. And I love how you really, man, from the beginning of your story, you wove that perfectly to like school is your absolute perfect landing spot for how you view connections, business, entrepreneurship. So no question there, just super tornado.
Well, you're so right. I think if I remember correctly, I was one of the first ones to buy. I was the first person to buy Jack's first program when he came on School, and he's grown so much. It's great to see the success that he's had.
Yeah.
Um, Being in Rose's community, at first I didn't join her community because it was at first about playing the piano, and I wasn't ready to learn how to play the piano. But I was on this Evergreen Summit interview that you did with her, and saw that she had opened up her music community to anyone that enjoyed music or loved music. And of course, I joined right away because I already knew we would vibe in her vibing community. And what I see happening there, where it's all people coming together, not only creating music, those that are great musicians, but even I helped create back my dog was having his birthday. I created a birthday song for his birthday, and I posted on Rose Community, and they loved it. And then there was a poem put on the community that 5 or 10 people then created a song in different genres on the Zuno AI platform. And it's just amazing how technology is making things happen so much faster,
Yes.
where we can all have different expertise, different areas. Even though I can't play the piano, I could use AI to create an incredible song that, think about that. We couldn't do that even a year ago, 2 years ago. How fast technology is changing, and now that we can all be more collaborative, all be able to help each other be more creative, help each other have incredible impact in the world.
Yeah, AI is really crazy. And I don't know where I heard this, but someone said that AI is what electricity used to when it went like worldwide. The like rise of AI is the same jump in our civilization. So there's not, we don't even know how good this will be, right? Like what we know is it's only ever going to be as bad, quote unquote, as it is today. It's only going to get better. But I also feel like a lot of people fall into the trap, and maybe that's a good segue, to just piggyback on AI and get lazy and just post, low quality AI written posts or comments. So where is that balance, or where is that, sweet spot?
Yeah, it's so important. I saw that so many people, just like what happened with Facebook, the social media sites, all of a sudden everyone jumped on the social media bandwagon. Everyone was a social media expert overnight, even though they'd only been on Facebook for a month. And I saw the same exact thing happening, of course, with AI. That you don't need to be an expert at AI. You need to know how to still keep that human touch. You don't want it to become a crutch. You just want it to be your tool in your toolbox, where you can use it to make a song if you want to make a song. But then also make sure everyone knows that don't be that. There was a band this past summer that became one of the top songs on Spotify. It wasn't even a real band. It was five figures created by AI, songs all created by AI, became one of the top 10 songs on Spotify until everyone found out it was AI. They're still actually doing well because now they disclose that it's AI. So the key thing is disclose. The key thing is don't overuse it. Make sure that you're still your authentic self. Make sure that you're still um, doing at least 80 to 90% of the content creation. And then if you need AI to fix your spelling or to make it a more coherent sentence, then use it that way. But don't use it as a crutch to do all your thinking for you, because then humans are no longer needed. But the key thing about AI, will never have that human touch. No matter how good AI gets, it won't have the emotions and the heartfelt that only humans can provide. And that's why I see AI is not going to take over the world. It's not going to make all of us obsolete and everyone lose their jobs, because you can never replace that human touch.
It's beautiful. And um, I think it's important for any owner to really I fell in the trap of like, create me 30 days of threads for other communities. And then I would like copy paste those and put those in communities and like get some conversations, right? And I was doing that for like every day for like months. And I got some awesome members. Think is one of them. I got some awesome members with that old tired strategy. But now I rarely post uh like new threads unless it's in a community that I'm like a part of, or
Right.
acting as a member, like I'm going through their program. I now just talk to people. I get to know people. I haven't DM'd anybody join Evergreen Foundations in months. Like I haven't actually told people to do that. We've gained like 170 members this month because we're just showing up. Dinka shows up as Dinka in these places like the Vibe and Tribe and the Peaceful Path and all these other communities. At like the schoolyard, I show up as me. Like I'm Jack's sidekick. I do videos, and guess what? Like after my videos, one or two members will creep over into my communities because they came to my profile. I don't have to
Mhm.
beg them to come to my community, and collaboration. And just like you said, that authentic, be you. You don't have to create some crazy content plan. You just have to show up as how you're doing that day, how you're feeling, and others are going to relate to you. Show up in comments. You're going to have great conversations. And then if you own a community, you pick up members. And great segue, you also aren't only the perfect fit and an avid Skool user. You also own two communities here in Skool, right?
Yeah, I
Because he
first
doesn't
started with
know.
the Success Mastermind community, really just to connect, because that's what I've always had success with, was creating those masterminds and working with other people to help brainstorm how to help them have, whether it's having success in their business, whether it's having success in their health, finding like-minded people that we could work together. And go all the way back to Benjamin Franklin for really starting some of the first masterminds, and look at what he was able to create, so many different incredible things. And when you use that philosophy of everyone working together to help each other move up, level up, if you will, is just makes it happen so much faster.
Yeah.
But I also saw that on Skool, there a lot of people were just getting started becoming entrepreneurs. They're not really ready for a mastermind yet. They're just learning what even an entrepreneur means. And so I've always been passionate about health. I've always been passionate about having balance in your life. After seeing too many people in my life get unbalanced, I had a business partner. I helped him buy two Rolls Royces and a Bentley, and unfortunately, all that money went to his head, and went completely down the wrong path, and lost family and life and everything else that he had built up so successfully. And so I've seen challenges where people focus too much just on success on business and forget about every other area of their life. And I saw what can we do, and what can we do to make sure that as people come on the Skool platform, it's all about truly learning how to not just build a successful business, but being balanced in every area of your life. I learned years ago, author of the Untethered Soul, Michael Singer. He actually only lives about an hour and a half from here. He started just living out in the middle of the woods, and just got tired of the system, if you will, and just started meditating and became one of the greatest minds out there, at least here in the States, to really impact people's lives, help them meditate better, help them to realize you don't need to be tied down to everything. If you just let go, you surrender. He has the other great book, The Surrender Experiment. He talked about in the Surrender Experiment his journey of going from living in the woods to literally building $1 billion business that ended up becoming WebMD. Uh, that he never actually left the woods. He actually built a campus, an office campus out across the road. I've been over where the campus is, where his office buildings were, until WebMD ended up becoming the business, and now it's all of course across the world. But he was really all about helping people understand that it takes balance. And when you can have balance in whether you're doing the meditation, whether you're doing yoga, whether you're doing deep breathing, whether you're eating healthy, all that combined together, and so that you can have sustainable success, not just financially, but health wise as well. When we see that right now, we have the best ways to connect human beings together around the world, but we have the most disconnection ever in history. And that's why I got passionate about this other community that we're building, the Happy Vibe movement. It's really a movement to just focus on helping make sure that we're really helping everyone have a more balanced life, whatever that means to them. I get out and I have a great time. Of course, I got two incredible, beautiful dogs that I get to go out there and take them on walks and take them to the different places, on hikes and things. And just getting out in nature can make such a difference for us that most people take it for granted and they just don't get out there enough. And we can blame it on the weather, we can blame it on not enough time, we can blame it on there's always going to be excuses in life. But when you can to realize that for thousands and thousands of years, the humans that have done the best, the humans that have been the ones that had the most impact, have always had that peace of mind, peaceful path. I love Mark Lawrence's community, that peaceful path, because I actually spent a month in South Africa where I actually got to go to Nelson Mandela's jail cell where he spent 30 years in jail, and he still never lost his positive mindset. Think about that. How is that possible? It wasn't because he was chasing success. It wasn't because he was chasing the almighty dollar. It's because he became a better person within. And that's what I strive to be. That's what I'm trying to help other people strive to be as well.
It is the common thread of this summit. I've heard so many of these guests say that same thing. I'm always striving for more. I'm striving for learning about myself, and I want to help others. And I think that's what I freaking love about Skool, is because I am like, I post links and dip on Facebook. It would look, if you look at my Facebook, you would think I was on there hours a day, post like a ton, but I've never like scrolling. I'm not looking at content. I'm not consuming the content because it's everybody arguing and picking sides. And you don't see that on Skool. Like fair,
Right.
like there is no that division that is on other social media platforms, and just that zombie mentality of like, this is what I believe in, and this is what my algorithm shows me all day. So I'm gonna live or die by that sword. Doesn't happen here. You have people going, hey, like this is what I like to do, and this is what I like to do. And you're like, oh, hey, me too. And I like to do this. And then people skill share and help each other grow in life. Like we were talking, me and Dick had a great conversation earlier about this, recording a podcast episode that about sometimes there's batteries in your life, people that charge you up, push you to grow, push you to be that like greater version every single day, even if it's 1%, like you mentioned. And then there's vacuums, and social media is a vacuum. It sucks the soul out of you. It sucks that like drive. There was a lot of things that I was getting sucked into on social media for a while. And I seen it. I'm like, oh, awareness. I gotta get out of here. And school does, I don't know. Do you see that? That it just offers that more the right vibe, if you will? There's so many vibing communities in here. Might as well.
No question, and that's the beauty of it, is that everyone can find which communities they vibe with best, right? Because there's just like there's red cars, there's blue cars, there's white cars, there's silver cars. Everyone has gonna gravitates towards different things. And so when you can find those communities that you feel is a right fit for you, and then you can contribute to and so quickly engage in those communities and so quickly and connect with other people in those communities that you realize you're with the right tribe, if you will. You're the right community, the right crew, whatever they call their community. It truly is a coming together of people that is always going to make the difference in the world. You know, it only takes five like-minded people to go out there and change the world in anything you want to change the world in, as long as you're all going in the same direction, trying to accomplish the same goals, the same impact.
Yeah.
Yeah, and also I feel like sometimes it happens when you meet someone on a call and then you kind of have the opportunity to feel their energy, and you kind of just click with the person, and it's like, okay, let me see if they own a community, and it's about something that you never ever heard of, but you like the person, you join, and you end up having a ton of fun. You learn something that you didn't even know you wanted to know, and it's also super fun to see like all the same people showing up in different communities. Everywhere you go, it's like, oh, hey, I know you. And then you, of course, meet new people as well. So I really love that it's human first connection. It's not like stuff being pushed in your face, like consume this, consume this. There's a human element that is very, very present. And that drives the force behind, Skool. And I hope that it always stays that way.
You know, that's so true. I, in fact, want to go back to what Brandon was just talking about a little while ago, was the live events, not the RLs. I'm talking about live on camera right now, like we are, or just getting on someone's live call that did might host once a week or once every other month, whatever works for them. Every community owner is going to find what works for them. But if you are going to really be involved with Skool and you want to become better versed in that area with that person successful in their community, jump on their live calls. That's the fastest way to make the connections, I believe. I'm trying to be on at least 5 different live calls a week minimum, just because I know I'll not only learn so much from those individuals, but I'll also connect faster than just being involved in the thread or the comments. And so the live calls is next level. If anyone that's listening to this is just getting going with Skool and just trying to figure it out. I actually just had someone send me a DM yesterday asking how to get on the different Goosify calls and how those different calls work, because it's really not easy for people to figure it out if they're brand new. And that's one of the things I hope to also see if we can be a congruent to changing that, because it's very easy for people to get lost before they figure out their way, and then they can drop out real quickly. And we need to change that churn, if you will, where we can make it easier for people to get connected and find out, oh, there's a live call here. There's and because they don't know what they're if they've never been on this platform before, and they're used to other platforms where you maybe aren't supposed to post, or you're not supposed to comment, because then you're going to get all kinds of negative comments back at you. There needs to be an easier way that makes it stress free, easier for people to go out there and first be a member, learn
Mhm.
as much as they can, and then if it's a right fit for them, if they want to build a community, build a community. But first find out what Skool's all about. First find 4 or 5 other communities that you feel that you're connected with, that you know that you can learn something from, and connect with those individuals. And then as you learn, as you get involved with more live calls, you're going to find out what's going to be the right fit for you. Because I've seen so many people that they go and start a Skool, but they really, I made the same mistake. Quite frankly, I made the same mistake. Someone said, get on Skool before you do anything, start your own community. And if you, as I think back about that, That's not how you start a business, is it?
Mhm.
You first want to understand that business, that industry you're starting your business in, right? And then you want to go out there and make sure that you have a good business plan and then go launch a business. You don't need to take a long time to do it. But I see so many, I made the same mistake where I changed my community name 2 or 3 different times because it just wasn't vibing with me what I started, but I felt like I had to start it right away just because everyone else was starting it right away. So don't feel like you need to be part of that pack of starting something that you're not ready to start, if that makes sense to everyone.
Yeah, that totally resonates because actually this was my journey, what you were advising. I came into Evergreen, it was still Evolutions back then, as a member. And eventually I was very active and we had kind of a click with Dave and Brandon. I was invited to join the team, and I think I was an admin in Evergreen for about 8 months before I even started thinking about opening my own community. And
Mm.
that was such an important education for me because I learned everything about the platform. I learned everything about community, well, not everything, but a lot of things about community building, how things work, what to look out for, just learning the back end of Skool, like how to adjust things. And it's a dynamic platform, so it's always going to be changing, so we will have to learn as we go. But it was such an important part, and I saved so much time and headaches, with my own community, having had that experience. So that's really good advice. I can testify to that because I see what you're saying. Also, a lot of new people struggling, and oh, where is this and where is that? And I understand it's overwhelming. There's so many buttons and so many features and so many things to look out for, but you don't have to do that like on day one when you join the platform. So that's really solid advice.
Yeah, I found that if we go back not that long, only maybe 100 years, 200 years back, before my time, of course. Uh, if you think about it, everyone used to be an apprentice first, right?
Yeah, you.
Everyone used to be an apprentice. They would go and learn that trade for whether it's a year, whether it's a couple of years, and then they would go and venture into their own enterprise.
And
Unfortunately,
maybe the first year was just shadowing the master, not even doing anything, but just like swiping the floor and looking at what they were doing, right? You weren't even allowed to touch anything.
exactly. And with technology, don't need to take that long anymore,
Yeah.
fortunately. But at least spend 30 days or 60 days or 90 days to really engage in other communities. And by you helping other communities, then it's going to come back to you as well. That's
Yeah,
just the way life
you're
works.
building your brand already. Yeah.
Right.
Dinka had 8 months of a front row seat watching a tornado make a million mistakes and learn from them.
Yeah.
So she, she had a great teaching of what to do a little bit, what accidentally to fall into, and what not to do.
Mm,
I
yes.
You brought up something earlier, Mark, and I thank you. You recognized really what our mission around here is, and I thank you for bringing that up. And we've been talking about collaboration and networking and all communities working together, and that's really been like the whole vision of our community, Evergreen Foundations, now with Dink and I and Dr. Melissa Parteka and like even Dave Layden and like our communities spreading out to more communities, spreading out to more communities. What we really are becoming is like a farmer's market classifieds of where we have our lifestyle of the foundation's lifestyle with mindset and body and soul and purpose and learning forever. But also, there's a lot of members that are also community owners. So it's like a farmer's market mentality where if you need a totally cool, vibing community or you want to learn piano better, like Rose Table is right there. If you want to build a thriving school, there's Jack. If you want to learn meditation, there's Mark Lawrence. And I love that we're doing that. We're putting that vibe forward. Um, with just that farmer's market mentality where you don't know what you're gonna find, you don't know who has what, and then perfect members go to niche communities, and I'm not like, "Oh my god, my member went to Mark Eldridge's community." I'm like, "Great, Mark, that's awesome." And then I pick up people in mine, and we all connect together, and when I go to yours and you go to mine, like Dinka said, one of my favorite things about school is when you're in, like, 50 communities, and I'm in, like, Ricochet, the crocheting community, which is amazing, even though I'm not a crocheter. And then all of a sudden I see like somebody's name pop up and I'm like, oh my God, you're in here too? Like, that's really cool. Yay, my school friend. Like, and those connections really mean a lot for human, how we show up for ourselves and others, right? Like the people around us. And Is that like the culture that you're looking to do in your communities? And
Yeah, it really is about whoever you associate with the most is who you become, right?
I actually wanted to share something going back to, communities and like being in each other's communities or not having this kind of your guards up, like, oh, no, don't look at my people. What I actually started doing is in my community, I put community lives on my calendar from communities that I enjoy spending time in. I encourage my members to go and join other
often
communities.
bring this up. Yeah.
And because I'm also going to be there, it's like they're not walking into a room full of strangers, but oh, Dinka's here. So it's already easier to blend in and hang out. And obviously, they will all meet new people as well. But I actually think that it adds value to my community because I'm like, hey, here's this awesome place. Like, it's like when someone new moves into a town and you're showing them your favorite restaurant. It's like, oh, there's this amazing community for meditation, or there's like this really cool place for brain health. And it adds value to my community. The members are stoked and we're all connecting and having fun. And every time you join a call, it's like, yay, you're here. Oh, that guy's there. So
Yeah.
it's a win-win-win, actually, in my opinion.
Yeah, I know, right? Yeah, and that's a really good point because I was gonna bring that up and then kinda like we got talking I got asked a different question, but I love that you just do that. Like, "Hey, Mark Lawrence says this going on," and people can go to other communities because you do show that, like, you're a safe place. You're a place that
Yeah.
can be trusted. You're not like, "Oh, get out of here. This is my pot of gold." Like, you're actually like, "No, like, who are you? Tell us who you are. We'd love to know.
Yeah.
You might be able to help some people we have here in this community. You're welcome." And the old and new guard that we've been talking about a lot lately is with Brennan and a couple other things is I think a lot of us are saying, no, come on in, come to our party. We'd love to come to your party. Let's all party together. Like,
Yeah.
and
And
going,
also, like, I know that Jack does this also in his community, um, giving certain members, he calls it the specials, right? Like giving certain members the kind of responsibility or the opportunity to post something in their own niche, and then it's pinned or it's saved in the classroom. I totally stole that idea, and Mark is doing his Zen thing, and I always ask like, "Oh, can you post it in Trinity as well?" And then Iris just started her own community and now she posted a poem and I was like, "Oh my God, it's amazing." So I started a little special for Iris. It features the person, they are happy because they get a platform and recognition, and then it adds value to the community. I don't have to be doing everything. I cannot write a freaking poem, I don't know crap about Zen. So this is a win-win-win.
that's why today in Foundations, I actually did the same thing and put out a poll and was like, hey, I don't want everything we're doing is awesome, right? Like the podcast, we're featuring great guests. We got all kinds of cool stuff and announcements going on and tornado power and this and that. But like, I don't want our ethos of being a lifestyle community, a community based on growing and cultivating our unique lifestyle to get lost in all of that. And I don't want to post everything because again, you don't want to see my name more than it is in the notifications. So that's why today I was like, hey, if anybody has expertise and they're like, hey, mindset mastery is my thing. Hey, I'm a fitness coach, body vitality. I'll talk about that. Hey, talk about it. Throw it out there. Like, let's get other people making conversations. And I'll really appreciate it. I think like hour in, we got 2, 3 threads out of that. So
Yeah.
there is a lot of put your members in the forefront. Mark, you're back. I think we can give you some permissions. Yeah, put your members in the forefront, let them speak, let them show like we were talking about Rose community. Yes, it's a piano community, but go look at the content in that community. You can learn a lot of stuff. There is people that share so many things in the Vibe and Tribe, and you could like go down that wall and there's 25 different topics, not just piano. And I think that community is really a testament to um, how members can show up with pieces of who they are inside of a unique niche community.
Yeah. And there's so many different ways of doing it. There's no rules. You can just put your own twist on it. For example, I also have a category in my community that is silliness. Silliness is a huge part of my personality. I'm a freaking dork, and I want to show that part of myself, and I want to encourage other people. Like you're posting mini every once in a
I
while, the
post my coding
cartoon
in this
chronicles,
very
or
regularly. Yeah.
whatever. Or who doesn't like a good laugh? Or for example, Stacy Coley does this really cool stuff in her community, the Human Practice, the one line story thread where everybody just writes one line of a story, and then it's always something really funny or crazy, and it's different, you know. Like, we don't want to go to each and every community and have like all the same stuff because we already have Facebook for that. You know.
I did shamelessly steal that story one because I love it.
Yeah, but it's amazing.
Where do you see the direction of like your communities going? Are you leaning into certain directions or niches, or like, hey, I have to figure it all out? Where are you at with your school journey like today as is?
It's really about going in, having first that impact with helping people get that balance in their lives, and really helping people have less stress without having that overwhelm. And so that's what I'm doing with the Happy Vibe movement, is really just focusing on helping everyone that wants to just take it a step at a time at their own pace. There's no major challenge. I'm actually doing a 40-day transformation challenge myself that people can follow along, and I'm putting down my journey all 40 days of everything from starting out from 20-minute meditation to 20-minute yoga sessions, all the way up to will be end up being 90 minutes of meditation, 90 minutes of yoga, and then of course healthy eating, wholesome foods, and journaling that whole experience. And so you don't need to do that journey, but you can follow along in that journey and decide what pieces you might want to take to fit in your own life, even if it's just that 1% of just doing 1% of something to change your life in a positive direction. It can make a difference. And then on the mastermind, I'm just doing different mastermind groups at different times of just 5 to 10 people that we can focus on what their journey is, as far as whether it's just a mastermind on Skool, on building their community, whether it's a mastermind on building an area in their life and their health, whether it's a mastermind on writing a book. So just different small mastermind groups that I'm not looking for thousands of people. I'm not looking for, having a huge number of people that we can't really have that personal connection. I feel for myself, it's better for me to have smaller communities and really have that connection and know that I'm really having an impact than just broadcasting to thousands of people that I don't even know their names.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
that's
agree with you. I think there was an article about this on Schoolers. Um, don't remember. It was a podcast episode about the sweet spot being around 100 members. Have you seen that one?
I have,
What
yes, yeah.
I don't
I
know
don't
if
rem-
it's really that, or I think it depends on the person, the community owner, like what's your bandwidth or what can you deal with. But
Mhm.
I feel like it's, quality over quantity is definitely the way to go.
That's the key right there. That's the key. Absolutely.
and I definitely, I mean, as we both know, right? We're in a small focus group together. Here in Evergreen Foundations, we're just a group. We're not like reinventing the wheel or like trying to come up with new strategies on how to make $1 million in 90 days or anything. We're people that legit just are like, hey, this is what I'm thinking about doing. This is what I'm working on. This is how I want to present to my members or whatever. And we legit mastermind, right? Like everybody comes together and comes up with actions to do and things they see. 5, 6 people can look at something a lot better than just one person and go, "This is what I see. This is what I see." Everyone puts their little flavor on it, and then you take action.
It's
Masterminds,
just just the camaraderie and the accountability of having to show up at a certain day because otherwise you're gonna let down the team or whatever. Follow up with each other, do assignments together. I think that's so valuable and it makes it more fun. And I'm pretty sure that there are lifelong friendships being formed in that group right now.
yeah, exactly. And that's
And
what happens.
that really is the key, isn't it? Where you can truly not just do business together, but truly have those lifetime relationships, because that's so much more rewarding. Obviously, the money's great, but the lifetime relationship's even better.
Well, you can sell 1,000 memberships for $6,000 for a 6-month period, and then you have all that MRR, you have all that money, and then nothing, no action, no connections, nothing develops. You can sell and then it's over. But if you develop a relationship that lasts for 20 years, imagine now how many things can come out of that instead of one sale. So if I do anything with working with people, I would rather have a leaderboard of 10 in a community where all my friends, colleagues, people I work with have like rocket ships and they're happy and they're living their lives. And I just have like the best of friends and I'm here living what I like to do and talk about. And not 1,000 people that none of those people get any results from paying me all that money. I would rather have 10 people with the best results living the greatest life than 1,000 people where I'm living the greatest life and they're just, "Hey, I bought this thing that doesn't work." So, I mean, that's my philosophy on it, and we've talked a lot about that, is it's more about the relationships. That's what I love about tiers in Skool, is you can give different not everybody can go Monday through Friday, meeting all the time, 90 days, let's really work on our school all day. Not anyone can do that. So I can do one group a week for other people. You can lower your tier to include everybody. Ro, again, you're on the call, so I just love Fest, Ro. I love you. What was dynamic pricing idea when we talked school strategy on her summit call is just absolutely what you should do. If you should have dynamic pricing, make it work for a member that's going to get results. If they're going to get results, create a tier that is for people that can afford that because people deserve growth and results no matter what a price point may be. And I love that Skool does that and features that for us now with the tiers without creating new $100 communities and stuff, but actually has the tiers. Have you noticed that being a model that is set up for success for a lot of owners?
There's so many people that they don't know where to start with their pricing, and be able to do the free and then whether you do one other level, whether you do two other levels, whatever works for you. So some people it's better to just start off with just one second level. And then as they build their community and they're really ready to go and offer their VIP package or their coaching program, then offer it. And you can do it at your own pace. That's the best part about it. You can really do it at your own pace versus feeling like you have to do it all overnight, have everything in place all overnight. You don't with school. You don't in life. Just take it a step at a time, what works for you. And I know so many people that they just start with just a free community just to get their community started, just to get the engagement going, and just to build those first 5 or 10 solid relationships that then they can go ahead and when they're ready, know that they are doing it at the right time for themselves. And everyone has different times. Some people feel like they need to do it right away. Other people says, I got whether it's a month, 3 months, whatever works for you. Don't feel that you have to do just what everyone else does. Be your own. Don't copy others. Just be your own copycat. Copy yourself.
Yeah, and also setting yourself up for success. I think that's also very important that you grow gradually and organically. Like imagine, I would have, I don't know, a VIP offer of $1,000 or something, and tomorrow I have 100 customers. I would be pooping my pants a little bit because I mean, how am I going to deliver that? So I think that's also a lot of people like, oh, so how much do I have to sell that I make $2 million a month? Like, no, that's not how you approach this. Or at least for me, that's not the end goal. Yeah, as you say, the money is great when it comes, but that's not the main goal. Why we are here on Skool and why we are doing this. It's the people, it's the connection, it's the growth, it's the friendships.
Well, that's so important, Dinka, what you just shared, because a lot of people, because they haven't been entrepreneurs before, they don't understand the scalability is so important that if you don't look ahead, what are we going to have to do for work? What are you going to have to do for time commitment to provide everything that you're offering in those higher tiers? And if you're not ready to handle that, if you don't have the hours in the day to handle that, then you think about, well, maybe I need to scale it in a different way, because where I've scaled not just one but several different companies to millions and millions of dollars, that didn't happen by accident. It was by scaling the right way, going from 10 employees to 50 employees to 100 employees to 200 employees, going from 10,000 a month to 50,000 a month to 100,000 a month. It's got to be done in a way that's sustainable. Because I've also seen where it's been a house of cards where it collapsed because you didn't have the manpower, or you didn't have the time yourself, or you didn't have the skills, and you had to go out there and hire the right skills, if you will, or find the right people to help make it possible. Like I share with you with masterminds. So it really is doing it at what pace works for you.
And also, we don't start our own businesses to be the slaves of it. Then we can just go and work for other people, right? Like, you don't want to be working 18 hours a day and not sleep because you're stressed out and like constantly, like this thing in your stomach. And that's at least for me, that's not my idea of freedom. I'm here for the freedom. I'm not here for like slaving for my own business. So yeah, that's definitely an important factor.
Well, that's
Right.
so important as well because the lifestyle, the money's great, but financial freedom's awesome, but time freedom is priceless.
Oh yeah.
I first retired when I was 28. Didn't have to work for a few years, and then I got crazy as I got bored, so I started another business, and built that up for a couple of years, and then kind of did another semi-retirement. I've done that a couple times in my life, and there's nothing better than to have that residual income because you built a business the right way, knowing that the business can still be sustainable, still grow. And that's a tool that most people haven't realized yet. If you build it the right way, it'll pay you not only for the next decade, but for decades to come. If you build it the right way and truly have a vision of not just overnight success, but long term, ongoing success that can still continue to grow because you built the right team, you built the right masterminds to help everyone have that success.
And your community or your masterminds, your members, or whatever, they help you build what you offer, what you do, like what they need. And relationships, there's such this gap. We've talked about social media, right? There's this gap. There's so many coaches, like there's 182,000 coaches in this group that I'm in on Facebook that they just share, like, here's my program. And they want someone to like get on their sales call, and then they're gonna sign that person. And then you know nothing about that person. So you're gonna get to know them for like months to try to get these results in a 6 month program that you have. When Skool opens up the door, you get to meet people in your free community, see what they're about, jump on lives, talk to them. Now, if they go through your, like, if they're in your premiums, your lower tier, you work with them, you've already now solved how many problems together? You know how that person ticks a little bit. So now if they sign up for like a 6 month intensive, a deep dive, your one-on-one programs, whatever they may be, you and that person that's went through your little nurturing funnel, and you guys have connections, growth, a little bit of history, bonds. Now imagine the things you can do together. And then go past 6 months, like you said, right? Imagine you're working with these people for 10 years, the things that you can do. So I think what gets lost in this healing wellness industry is some people become like cattle farmers where they just want like this revolving door of clients coming through their programs, and they don't nurture. And I want like grass-fed beef, man. I want like 100 acres with like the best quality out in my fields. I don't want just this revolving door of factory fed clients because I have the right funnel. I want the right people. Um, and I really feel like that your ethos and how you run your communities really align with that, and Skool aligns with that. How do you like stick to those ethos when you for your communities?
It's really by developing the relationships more than anything else, right? I mean, when you can connect with the right people that are there not just because they like the community, but because they like connecting with you. They like whether they're helping you post, whether they're helping make comments, whether they're going in and being engaged in your community, not just because they like the niche, but because you develop that relationship.
Yeah,
And that's where where else can you do that besides school?
exactly. I'm not everybody's cup of tea, but the people
Yeah.
that I am their cup of tea, we get a lot of shit done together. So it's really cool. Like, and that's how it goes. And if I'm not someone's cup of tea, there's so many other amazing people in similar niches, and yeah, that's what I love about this place.
Well,
Um, but
that's things that right about school real quick. On other social media platforms, you see everyone if if someone isn't their cup of tea, they're actually tearing that person down. I don't see that on school. You see everyone still building everyone up. And that's also so on most other platforms. I mean, compared to Facebook or Instagram, where you get attacked just because you got a different opinion. Here, at least, most people they might not agree with you, but they will respectfully still move forward in a positive way that I think is different than what I've seen other places, at least from my perspective.
yeah, I totally agree, and I think not only is it different, I think it's becoming more innovative in the way people are going to approach online businesses and community. And I mean, look at a lot of where, like we talked about AI in the workforce, and things are changing, and online businesses having niche communities, having people that care about the same thing, tribes finding each other, whatever you want to call it, is going to be a big part of the future. Is little cells of like-minded people, because otherwise it's just all the division and stuff, which I'm sure, I mean, like you alluded to, I'm sure you obviously see too.
Yeah, it's so refreshing, for no better words, to really be part of something that I see the vision of where this whole school communities are going, not just in the next year, but the next 5 to 10 years and beyond, because it's something that's so needed as we become, as I've already mentioned, the not only the disconnection, but the negativity that's going on in society today. People, I don't care what age bracket you're at, whether you're in your 20s, 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s, no matter what age bracket you're in, most people are looking for still a better solution where what they're doing doesn't have to consume their lives, where they can go out there and have a better balance, knowing that they can be part of something that is going to be able to grow with them and not where they either outgrow it or it outgrows them. It's everyone growing better together.
You know, I have something crazy to admit. You said earlier, Think and Grow Rich, and I've heard so many entrepreneurs say that book changed my life. Rose said in the comments, that book changed, like, that's the greatest book. I've never read that, and I think I have to.
Well, when you think about when they wrote it back during the Depression, it actually helped bring, from what I've learned, it helped actually bring our country out of depression because they studied, Napoleon Hill studied the 500 wealthiest people at the time, most successful people at the time, and narrowed it down to the key things that help change their lives and obviously not only change our country, but change the world. And so many things that are talked about back in the 1930s is still so relevant today. Think about that. When we have all this new technology, but we still have the same principles that worked years ago, still working today, as long as we just go out there and apply them, taking that action, making the difference, and having that, knowing that you can really change people's lives. If you just change one person's life, it's well worth it.
Absolutely.
So, Mark, where do you see school going for you personally in the next 6 to months to a year?
Really going out there and creating that impact as first as I keep mentioning the word impact because I don't want to overuse the word, but I want to make sure it's clear that there's so much information out there these days, right? We're on information overload. The challenge is getting people to apply that information, take action with that information, and making sure they're actually getting something out of that information. And that's why I keep mentioning the word impact because I see that there's a need for it more than ever before as we have all the challenges going on in society today. And people just know that there's an answer, there's a solution. And if you can make it less stressful, if you can make it less overwhelming, make it easier for them to go out there and apply that in their time frame, whether they only have an extra hour a day or only an extra hour a week. Make it so that can be done in bite-sized pieces. That 1% on a continuous daily effort will make all the difference for them. And so going out there and helping people in their journey from improving their health, just like I want to improve my health, so does everyone else. just like going out there and having more success in their business. I want to go out there and help more people have success in their business. All we can do is give. The more we give, the more it's going to go and come back tenfold. And so I believe in paying it forward. The more that we can pay it forward and have that positive impact on other people's lives, you don't have to worry about anything else as long as you help change other people's lives.
I absolutely love that. And I think because a lot of people get caught up in the, I have to monetize my community. I have to create a premium. I have to create all these things and offer this and offer that. All you really have to do is implement actionable things that people do together while supporting each other that creates an impact. People impacting people is all you need to offer. You don't need a bunch of other stuff. Hey, we're doing this and people are getting these results when we do it. Great. I want to do it because those people are doing it. I'm going to hand it over to you as when Mark's time is pretty valuable. And as we get down to the end of this call, I think we could talk school strategy and heart centered business probably all day. But in honor of his time, I'll kick it over to you for the downside of our call.
Okay, so probably you know by now that I do my card thing at the end of the call. And so the one that I got for you is the warrior card, and it reads, "Be fearless and stand strong." So I hope this resonates with you.
It does. I always try to be the silent warrior. I try to, if you will, make sure I can have as much of an impact without having to be the loudest voice in the room.
Hmm. Yeah, I see that in you totally.
Love it. Sometimes I have to remember not to be the loudest voice in the room. Um, Mark, it's been awesome having you on here, and we have a really good connection. We've been working well together. I love having you a part of everything we got going on in school and being a part of your universes. Your story and everything that you're about really fits into where connections, community, online businesses, where all of that is really going. And I am grateful that your journey has crossed paths with ours. And my final question today would be is what does evolution mean to you?
So many things. If you think about it, we have all evolved one way or another. No matter what you believe in, are always evolving as a species, as humans, knowing that if we're always changing, if we're always growing one way or another, yet most of us resist change. Most people don't like change. Knowing that it's okay to change, it's okay to evolve, it's okay to go and grow and become something different than you are today. By tomorrow, it's going to be another whole 24 hours. Next year is going to be a whole nother 365 days. They say that, because of everything that's changed with technology, they even say our thumbs are going to change over the next 100 years or 200 years because we're all texting now with our thumbs. That means as a human species, we're all evolving and if we don't figure out how to evolve, then that means what? We're going backwards. And so no one wants to go backwards if you can go forwards and in whatever pace works for you. And that's what I want to end with is because so many people with everything that's going on in society these days, they feel the overwhelm. If you just turn off the news and turn on school and spend that instead of the half hour watching the negative news or or whatever time frame you're watching something that's not positive impacting your life, get in a community that can have that positive impact, and you'll evolve in so many great ways.
That's amazing. Awesome answer. And I think we can all give ourselves a little bit more permission to be uncomfortable, feel uncomfortable, do the things that scares us. So, Mark, thanks for joining us again. Evolution 2026, the summit's coming to an end. It's kind of crazy. Dinka's like, real. I can't wait to take a breath for a week.
Just really quick, I want to just
Yes.
commend you guys because yeah, it's been a whirlwind for you guys to be able to do this for 30 days, almost 30 days now, day 28. Congratulations. It's a major, major undertaking to put on this kind of summit, to be able to get as many different people. And one of the best things I saw about the whole summit, I got as many live ones as I could. There's so many different personalities, there's so many different people from different walks of lives. And that's what Skool's all about, right? Now we can really impact so many different people's lives in so many different ways. So thank you for all you guys do. Appreciate you.
Oh, thank you for your kind words. It's been a labor of love, but it's labor regardless. That's what I'm going to say.
Never stop evolving. Keep showing up for yourselves. And we'll see you next time on the Evolution Podcast.
Thanks so much. Bye
Bye,
bye.
guys.